Welcome back to One Deep Step. This is Tio from the Atlantic rainforest of Brazil. What you see behind me is a real background, not a virtual background. And today I want to talk about the topic that your wrongness is your perfection. What does that mean? Fundamentally, when people approach self improvement and personal growth and personal development, self help, all of these topics, it's approached from a place that there is something wrong with me that needs to be fixed. Whether you do this consciously or unconsciously, something inside you says, I am not okay. This may be, you may be in complete denial of this aspect of yourself. You may be telling yourself, I am fine and all this self help stuff is bullshit. That's fine too. Underneath all of it, like I said, whether you're conscious or not, your fundamental attitude is that there is something wrong with me. And that message reflects the emotion of shame. We all have shame, so there is no point in denying it. It's just part of the human experience. The culture we live in programs us to be ashamed of ourselves, and the only way that you don't have shame is if you have healed it at a very deep level, going through the process. The process of healing shame is acceptance, accepting that the way you are is fine, accepting who you are is fine. That whatever is wrong with you, whatever people say, the culture says, your family, friends, whoever it is, whatever they say is wrong with you, that is exactly who you are supposed to be today, right now. You may become someone different, you may become better, or you may even become worse. There's no telling, there's no guarantee that you will always keep getting better. There are people all the time who take different turns and get worse in their lives. The point is that where you are today, accepting that is perfect. That is exactly where you need to be. Listening to this message right now, this is what you can tell yourself is I am fine the way I am. I accept myself the way I am. I am perfect the way I am. This doesn't mean that your personality is perfect. This doesn't mean that your appearance is perfect, whatever that is supposed to mean. Appearance being perfect is very subjective. Personality being subject Personality being perfect is very subjective. Everything that we are supposed to be is very subjective. It's just people's opinions. And those opinions tell you that you are not okay, that you are not perfect, and that you're supposed to be perfect, to be accepted, to be loved, to be received by the world. The moment you buy into that belief that you have to be a certain way to be accepted and loved, that is where shame begins. And that usually begins very early in your childhood. And obviously, as a child, it's very unconscious. The mess, you don't have filters, you don't have boundaries. So when someone tells you that there is something wrong with you just believe it because you trust your parents, you trust the world outside you that whatever they say is the truth. That's the mind of the child is very innocent and very influenceable. It takes in everything. As you grow up, that belief keeps festering inside you that something is not okay with you. You are wrong. There is something wrong with you. When you live from that base, everything is infected with that belief, whether you realize it or not. You keep trying to fix yourself, you keep trying to be a certain way to be accepted. You should do this, you should do that. That is what writing looks like, right? Being right. If you allow yourself to be wrong in the eyes of others, you have found instant freedom. The moment you give yourself permission and say, it's okay if people think there is something wrong with me. It's okay if people think that I am not perfect. You have to learn to define your own opinion and say, I am perfect no matter what other people think. I am perfect the way I am. And that means that from that place you can start changing your personality, you can start transforming yourself, you can start growing, you can start developing, you can start healing. But all of it is now coming from a place of acceptance that I am okay. Now, if I'm changing, it's not to be accepted by the world. Now, if I'm changing, it's because I want to change something, it's because I realize that there is something that I am doing that I don't like doing. There is something, there is some way I am being that maybe it hurts others, maybe it hurts myself, and I no longer want to do that. But even if I have been hurting people, understanding the mechanics of reality, understanding the mechanics of the way life works, there is the idealism of how life is supposed to work and how the perfect life looks, how perfection looks. None of that is real. All of those are ideas and concepts that never actually take place in reality. Rea- Reality is messy, reality is chaotic, life is messy. And when we understand the real principles of life on earth, we start understanding that the way we are is perfect. We are meant to trigger certain people, we are meant to hurt certain people. This doesn't mean you intentionally go out and hurt people. I am no one to give you permission, and I'm not giving you permission to go out and hurt people. If you want to hurt people, you will hurt people. My point is that if you have been unintentionally hurting people, which is what most people end up doing, is that when you do hurt someone, when you behave a certain way, when you are a certain way which hurts someone else, it's not intentional. Yet you take on the shame and you take on the guilt and you think that there is something wrong with you. This is the fundamental belief that needs to change, is that when you unintentionally hurt someone, that is not something wrong with you, it's the mechanics of this reality. The mechanics of this reality dictate that certain interactions take place, certain people hurt each other, certain people behave a certain way, because that, for whatever reason, you call it karma, you call it reality mechanics, that interaction is meant to take place. The moment you can realize that and see that someone hurting you was exactly what you needed to wake up from some illusion, to wake up from some pain, to heal some part of you, to set a boundary, to grow in a certain way. The moment you start seeing this deeper reality, then you start realizing that I can accept myself as being perfect the way I am today. And the way I keep transforming and changing, I will continue being perfect. Whatever happens at a fundamental level, as long as I'm not intentionally hurting someone, that is what is meant to happen. And I will use that to gain consciousness and to grow so that I don't keep unintentionally hurting people. And I also realize that when it happens, it is what is meant to happen. I will leave this as the first episode of One Deep Step. I hope you got what you needed from this. And please share it, like it, subscribe, do all the things that you're supposed to do on social media. And I will connect with you again in the next episode. Thank you.